It was supposed to be just another field trip. A bus full of high school students, excited for a day of learning outside the classroom, traveling through the thick forests of a remote part of the country. But as the sun dipped lower into the sky, things took a terrifying turn. A group of students from Oak Ridge High, along with their beloved teacher, were hijacked by a ruthless group of criminals who had planned the perfect kidnapping. Their goal was simple: take the students, demand a massive ransom from their wealthy parents, and disappear into the shadows. But what they didn't count on was the unbreakable bond between the students, their quick thinking, and the determination to not let fear control their lives. Samantha Harris, the student body president, noticed the van creeping up on their school bus. She had a feeling something wasn't right, but dismissed it as nothing more than a weird coincidence. When the vehicle finally cut off their bus and the doors flung open, her heart dropped. Armed men stormed the bus, demanding silence as they forced everyone off. The students were herded into a secluded cabin deep in the woods, with one guard stationed at the door and others patrolling the perimeter. They were told not to make any noise, that their parents would pay a hefty price for their return. As the hours dragged on, the students realized the grim reality of their situation. But in the midst of panic, Samantha stood up and took charge. With their hands tied behind their backs, Samantha whispered to her best friend Clara, "We can't wait around. We have to do something. I'll try to loosen my ropes. You distract the guard at the door." It was a risky plan, but desperation made it seem the only option. Meanwhile, other students, Brian, who was quiet but highly analytical, and Emily, the tech genius, were working behind the scenes. Emily had managed to sneak a phone into the cabin, and with some quick thinking, she began to text her parents, subtly asking for help while pretending to be calm. It wasn't long before their kidnappers realized the phone was missing. Panic surged through the air, but it also gave the students a crucial window of opportunity. On the outside, the kidnappers were keeping their parents in the dark. Every demand for ransom came with a new set of lies. Meanwhile, the wealthy parents, used to luxury and comfort, fought to come up with the unimaginable amount of money being demanded. However, they were being manipulated by the criminals, who fed them half-truths and fabricated stories about the conditions their children were in. But as the hours turned into days, the students saw through their kidnappers' lies and slowly began to realize that their families were being tricked into paying a price much higher than necessary. Brian had been observing their captors for days. "They're getting desperate," he said, his voice trembling with fear but still steady. "That means we've got them where we want them." In the middle of the night, the students made their move. Samantha, Clara, and a few others had finally loosened their restraints. Emily hacked into the cabin's surveillance system, giving them the ability to see when guards were approaching. Brian used his knowledge of the terrain to navigate their path, making sure the group avoided the guards' patrol routes. The escape was frantic. One by one, the students slipped out into the forest, using nothing but the moonlight to guide them. But as they neared the edge of the woods, they were met with an unexpected challenge. One of the kidnappers was waiting for them with a gun. Samantha, heart pounding in her chest, stepped forward, using the calm and authority she had learned as student president. "We've been through enough," she said, her voice steady. "You can't hold us anymore." Surprisingly, the kidnapper hesitated. Was it fear? Guilt? Or had he simply underestimated their resolve? But before he could make a move, Clara, who had secretly grabbed a makeshift weapon earlier, tackled him to the ground, knocking the gun away. With a final sprint, they reached the highway and flagged down a passing car. Their ordeal was over. Back at home, the parents were shocked to find out that their children had escaped without any help from them. The ransom money had already been sent. The kidnappers had vanished into the wind, leaving the family with a chilling sense of betrayal. But for the students, the experience was more than just an escape. It was a wake-up call. "We can't rely on money alone," Samantha said during the press conference. "In the end, it's our unity, our ability to think critically, and our determination to fight back that saved us." Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.